What's up, Tastemaker fam? Welcome back to another Tasty Tuesdays on the dance floor. It's zbrah and Tracer today, and it's a rearEnders takeover.
You're listening to the rearEnders.
And I'm gonna get right into the music. This next one is by Ruben, Rosschild, and it's called The Come Up. We the Tastemakers. This is Dash, and this is the rearEnders. Let's go.
You're listening to Tastemakers
Dash Radio.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Oh my gosh. The music just turns me on.
Let me hear you scream.
Ooh la 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 la. Love that drop every time I hear it. Welcome back, y'all. I am zbrah. This is Tasty Tuesdays on the dance floor. I have my special co-host filling in for Jeebs today. It's Mr. Tracer.
Hey guys, I'm back in the studio.
Back in the studio, and when it's both of us, you know what that means. It is the rearEnders.
And party time.
And it's a takeover. So, how we doing? What's going on?
Everything's great. Just a lot of traveling and yeah.
Finagling.
What's that?
Traveling and finagling.
Finagling. Actually, I've been back home for a week and it feels amazing. Actually, more 2 weeks. Time flies so fast.
Time is flying by this year, going into the holidays, and
you guys
eventually,
have no idea with all these rules and implementations and all these limitations.
But rules are made to be broken. Remember that.
100%. But here we are, live in the studio, and we're gonna check out some new tunes.
Yes, we are. So, shall we get into our first segment?
Let's do.
Woo! Label time, label time, label time, label time.
All right, guys. So today we have an amazing story in labels, and this label is actually one of my favorites, and one that has changed and helped mold the electronic dance music scene. So the record label is called Hooj Tunes, spelled H-O-O-J, Tunes, C-H-O-O-N-S. It was founded in 1990 by Alex Simon and Red Jerry. The first release was Carnival de Casa by Rio Rhythm Band, and it was not until 1992 when Felix's Don't You Want Me with the Red Jerry and Faithless remix that Hooj blew up. And ever since then, it's been one hit after another, and these guys have been able to find the best artists and curate the best music in dance.
Wow, I'm excited. Oh, what do you got? So who are we highlighting today?
So basically, I'm gonna just tell you a couple tracks that I thought were outstanding in their catalog. And for many of you, you guys could look this up, and it's crazy. Spotify already has a playlist called Some of These Were Hooj, the best of Hooj tunes. So you could find this on Spotify. It's under the best of Hooj tunes, and it's gonna start out with one of the most remixed tracks in EDM. Café Del Mar's, Energy 52's Café Del Mar. And if you guys don't know, Café Del Mar is one of the most famous dance clubs in Ibiza. And anyone who's ever played at Café Del Mar has remixed their song, Café Del Mar. But on this label, on the Hooj Tune labels, we have some great tracks like Café Del Mar, Grease 2000, another track that was monster and has been remixed thousands of times. Not really thousands, but many, many times. Bits and Pieces by Artemisia. That was a big dance floor. Beach Ball by Nayland and Kane.
Oh, I like that one.
Seven Cities by Solarstone.
Wow.
Invisible by Tilt.
Wow.
The Orange Theme by Cygnus X. And the list can go on and on. It's one hit after another. Schoenberg, Marmion. Some of these records were the first records that I ever purchased and I ever had.
You're predating yourself.
You know, you have to start somewhere. But what's great about this label, it is one of the most collectible vinyls, and it's so sought after that if you go on Discogs, many of these vinyls are worth hundreds of dollars, when at one point you couldn't give them away.
So what do you got for us? What are you going to highlight for us today?
So we're gonna play today the most remixed song in electronic dance music.
No way.
It's been remixed 72 times.
Wow.
You're gonna hear Energy 52's Café Del Mar.
All right, let's do it.
Label talk, label talk, label talk.
Tastemakers.
So Café Del Mar is one of those tracks that, because it's been remixed, and not just remixed by Joe Blow, the DJ, but by every big name. Listen to these names really quick. Paul Van Dyke, Michael Woods, Nayland and Kane, Deadmau5, 3 and 1, Tall Paul. The list goes on and on. This track has been remixed, and it's a rite of passage for any superstar DJ. When you remix this song, you are in a very special club and a very special company. And it is a highlight of your career to be asked to remix this, because it means that you, at some shape or form, have made a mark in the music industry.
Maybe they just went and remixed it on their own.
So I looked that up. Anyone could remix it. You could remix it, I could remix it. But this is the list that's going on right now. Those were remixes by invitation through Café Del Mar.
Invitation
of Ibiza.
only.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Legendary.
Legendary, yes. Absolutely legendary.
We'll remind our audience again, Café Del Mar.
So look up Café Del Mar. It's a huge club in Ibiza. And this track has changed the lives and affected many producers in the electronic dance music world.
That is dope stuff. Well, we just got another education if you didn't know, but
For those of you who care.
Café Del Mar.
And Café Del Mar was released, Energy 52's Café Del Mar was released on Who's Tunes. And that's where I saw it for the first time. The original remix. It was the original, and on the B-side, it was 3 Drives on Vinyl remix, and the third remix was the Nayland and Kane. It was those 3 were the first 3 on the Who's Tune vinyl.
Since this is our label talk and it's Huge Tunes, does Huge Tunes still make music? Are they still putting out records to this date?
So Who's Tunes recently disbanded in 2000, as recently as 2009 was their last release. And
maybe we'll get a revival. You never know.
So recently I heard that there is talk to revive the label because their influence has been
huge.
Monumental.
Hence Huge Tunes.
Yes, Huge Tunes.
Huge Tunes has been very huge.
And you know what? Huge Tunes means huge tunes. It's basically what it is. And it's
that's what I thought.
Yes, because Huge Tunes is actually a slang, like a Cockney slang from England. Like,
Cockney. Cock.
So yes, Huge Tunes is
He would
actually
know a lot
Cockney.
about Cockney.
Don't you go around being a smart boy.
Hey. But we got, that was our label talk. Thank you.
Now that we got that out of the way,
we'll go on to our next segment. And we're going to move on and back to the music with our track of the week. I'm going to highlight an artist by the name of Manganese. and the song's called A Safe Place to Live from the label Berlin Bass Collective. I recently found them and they drop fire track after fire track. I highly recommend them. You guys checking them out. It's Berlin's Bass Collective's 10th digital EP, and with it, they welcome Manganese's debut to the family. Not only he's new to the label, but this is his first record release. He is from Lyon, France, and he takes a lot of his inspiration from the French scene mixed with a kind of like a UK garage sound. And again, our track of the week is by Manganese. It's called A Safe Place to Live, and it's off his 4-track EP called Speeches. We the Tastemakers, this is Tasty Tuesdays on the dance floor. Let's go.
Are you ready?
Favorite record of this week's show.
We are the Taste.
Dash Radio.
She never had anything unkind to say, but she did get...
You're listening to Tastemakers
With Zebra and Jeeves.
Welcome back, y'all, to Tasty Tuesdays on the dance floor. I'm Zebra, and I'm joined with Tracer, the rearEnders, takeover. And since Jeeb is not here today, we're going to switch things up, and I'm going to highlight a EP that I found that I'm feeling, and we're just going to get into it. I'm going to play a few songs from it and highlight it today. The artist I'm going to highlight his name is Sly Turner. He's from San Diego, California, a local boy from Southern California. You do know?
San Diego.
San Diego's been putting out some good music.
San Diego has an amazing music scene. We have Desert Hearts coming out of there.
Desert Heart, and he's released on Desert Hearts label.
And they have such a wonderful festival there.
Yeah, Cross Festival, good house and techno festival.
Yes.
So there's some things going on there, and it's happening in place. But the EP I'm going to highlight today is called Seasons of Love EP. It came out on Big Bamboo label in August of 2020, actually. And it's a 4-track EP, like I mentioned, and 1 track that is remixed by the artist called Midway. And Sly Turner, he's been releasing music since 2016, and track after track after track. I was looking at his whole
catalog?
Catalog, and I was amazed of how many tracks he's released. And
so he's prolific.
I mean,
that's the way you would say. If you're a prolific artist, you're producing and you're boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but when I'm listening to his music, I mean, it's so many solid tracks, and I'm like, this guy should be bigger. I mean, he should be bigger. When I looked at him, I couldn't find his age, but he looked like he was in his early 20s. He looked like this, young dude. But his catalog is amazing. I was really impressed by all his music. And this EP that I'm going to highlight, you'll get a little gist of what he can do and how his sound is. And it's pretty banging. It's hence off Big Bamboo label.
All right, let's do it. Let's run it, guys.
We are running it. But he has released on labels like we mentioned, Desert Hearts label, Deep Perfect, TBX Records, Render, Big Bamboo, Exploited Ghetto, Psycho Disco, just to name a few. And
Psycho Disco, qu'est-ce que c'est?
Psycho Disco, yes. And the first song I'm gonna play today is called Tokyo School Girls.
Love it. And let's run it, guys.
We're gonna run it, and you're gonna let me know what you think.
Tastemakers.
All right, guys, I hope you're feeling that. That's Tokyo Schoolgirls. Ooh! But this is Sly Turner and his Seasons of Love EP. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to play one more record off this EP, and the next one is called Recognize.
You're listening to the Tastemakers
With Zebra and Jeeves
on Dash Radio.
So right there is Sly Turner, a little taste of Sly Turner and his Seasons of Love EP. What are you vibing with? You liking that, Tracer?
Yeah,
what?
I'm loving the production. It's just really clean, big, and soulful. It has a feel.
Yeah, soul, groove, and you do feel it. It's interesting, like I was mentioning before, but this guy makes solid music, and I'm like,
I could feel the euphoria in the track, and that's what I really like about it. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and he's collaborated with some big DJs and producers, which I have some other tracks as well. But I'm like, this guy needs to be bigger. I mean, he's putting out some good material.
As a DJ, like when I'm listening to music, I have to like zip through some tracks and just barely like listen to like 2 or 3 seconds of it. But just from the 2 or 3 second, interval that you hear of a track, you could feel their feeling and what they're trying to say. It's very quick. And when you get that, it's special. And this guy has it.
He does. And like I said, he don't look much more than his early 20s. So, and he, like you were saying before, prolific, putting out, this
putting out many tracks. Eventually, there's going to be a number one in the Beatports right there.
Track Source, all that. But that was my little highlight of Sly Turner. Check him out. He's on all social media platforms at Sly Turner. And if you're in SoCal, come down and see one of his shows. And we're going to get back to the music.
Back.
Into our next segment. Let's go.
Music is the vibe. Don't want no short dick, man.
You know what that drop is. Original versus rework. And Tracer's gonna be doing it today. What you got for us?
All right. Okay, so
hopefully something good this time.
So we're gonna go with another track that's been remixed from Here to High Heaven by many artists.
Let me guess. No, let me guess. Café de Mar.
No, but this one was basically the track is called Silence.
Silence.
And it was originally produced as a song by the famous Sarah Mcachlan.
Was there any not dead, but like injured puppies or injured cats?
No. But
are you all right?
The song was remixed many times, and one of the remixes was by DJ Tiesto, and it's considered number 8 in the all-time greatest trance tracks of all time.
No way.
Delirium's The Silence, DJ Tiesto remix featuring Sarah Mcachlan. But before we hear that, let's hear a little sample of the original Silence by Sarah Mcachlan.
All right. We'll listen.
Don't say anything, just play the song.
All right, yes, mommy.
And there we go. That was the original version of Sarah Mcachlan's Silence. And now we're going to play the remix. Now, there's been many remixes of this song, but this one, the reason why we're choosing the Tiesto version is because it's considered number 8 in the list of best all-time trance tracks ever.
Wow.
Which I think is a little bit too early to say something like this. I mean, but I guess if you want to make a list, it's number 8.
Number 8.
And this track is actually pretty slamming, and when you hear it, you might recognize it.
Oh, you better.
Let's go.
This will bring back so many memories.
Run it.
All right. Tiesto, In Search of Sunrise remix.
You're listening to the Tastemakers
with Zebra and Jeeves
on Dash Radio.
This song is so popular and so mainstream now that they play it on Quick 95 in Vacaville. When you go to the Hallmark store to buy a candle, this will be playing in the background.
It's that good.
And you know what? It just takes me back to the time when I was on the dance floor at EDC listening to Tiesto drop this.
It's probably before EDC.
While I was chewing my cheek out.
But it was before.
Grinding my teeth into a fine powder.
It's probably the Cow Palace. Before EDC, because I was listening to this before.
EDC's been around for 20 years, baby. I don't know where you've been.
I know, but you haven't been going.
But EDC's been around longer than pop. So don't give dilute all that.
Well, Tiesto's never been at EDC. Ba-bam!
No, that is not true. Tiesto has played EDC
No.
many times.
Yes, when it came into Vegas.
That's not true.
That is true. Look it up. Look it up.
Hey Siri, when was Tiesto's first EDC appearance?
Okay, I found this on the web for when was Tiesto's first EDC appearance. Check it out.
So EDC's first appearance was in 2012.
In Las Vegas, bitch. Once again, zbrah is right.
That's not true, is it?
I was there, brother.
Whatever, I was Tiesto standing for his video.
Yeah, and you're wetting your diapers while I was in my diapers. But can you remind our listeners or viewers again, the original versus rework?
Yes, the original was Sarah McLachlan's Silence, and the rework was Delerium's remix of Silence, remixed again by Tiesto, featuring Sarah McLachlan.
Two classics in their own right. Thank you, Tracer, for that. That was just brought back more nostalgic vibes. But we're gonna get back into the music, and we're gonna play a special rearEnders track right now that we're gonna release in 2 days.
Yes, let's do this, baby.
Let's do it. It's called Fearless, and this is our debut track with one another.
You're listening to the rearEnders.
All right, guys, that was an exclusive rearEnders track. Again, it's going to be dropped in 2 days from now, October 28th.
October 28th, guys. Please call me. We're going to have champagne. We're partying tonight. That night.
No, it's just one of many, and yes, and that was it. It's called Fearless, and it's released on of Raw Doggy Records.
Raw Doggy, baby. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Come on. You can't get better than that.
But that will do it for us. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you.
My name is Mike Tracer, and we're the rearEnders.
We are the rearEnders. You can find us on social media at the rearEnders.
And you can find our tracks on October 28th on Beatport, Spotify, and
on all music platforms.
We'll be there, baby. Please come and show us some love and some support. And we'll see you guys soon.
Yes, we'll see you on the dance floor. You can find myself at Z-Man zbrah or Tracer at DJ Tracer. And that will do it for us. We'll see you next time.
I'm Tracer101 on IG and DJ Tracer101 if you want to get more specific.
Yes, so many names. Or the whole Tastemaker Media family at Tastemakers_ENT. That will do it for us. This is Tasty Tuesdays. We'll see you.
See you later, guys.
On the dance floor.
You're listening to the Tastemakers
with zbrah and Jeebs
on Dash Radio.
All right, y'all. Now we are into our second hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the
Tastemakers with zbrah and Jeebs
on Loud Dash Radio.
I'm